Welcome back to Curse, Code, and Crown, a live play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast featuring a fully original world and campaign. I am the wizard Cronox, observer of time. Curse, Code, and Crown features our regular voiceover artists and improvisers, Laura Elizabeth as the Orcountant Eta, Tyler Hewitt as Makka Deathcap, and Ryan LaPlante as Duncan Danno, alongside our dungeon master, the incredible Tom McGee. So get ready for an adventure including thrills, chills, and hope for a brighter tomorrow. It's time for Curse, Code, and Crown!
In order to win the friendship and trust of the fortress of Sprangbrekh, you have set out to slay a beast that's not from around these parts. The three of you, Makka, Eta, and Duncan, have made your way up to the surface again. And you find yourselves kind of, it's noonish after your preparations and eating. So sun is high in the sky. It is overcast, so a little gray. Not perfect visibility, but also not the worst. And you're making your way through the woods northwest towards the sort of triangulated site of the frost salamander attacks. Do you think you'd be discussing anything on the route, or would you just kind of be like ready to rock and roll?
I think maybe just a quick little tactical discussion first would be helpful. Makka will say,
Jossie has seen fit to give me the power to conceal us, but only if we stay together. Is there any reason not to? Should we separate?
How closely must we stay together?
About 30 feet would be the extent of my power.
Oh, oddly specific.
I do not see why we would have to part more than 30 feet.
Overall, I think it would be a mistake if we were like, there's a giant monster, let's go separately. As long as we're all equivalently stealthy, then this seems wise.
how close are we approximately to the, or maybe we don't know how close we are to like that split tree that.
Well, we're supposed to have an hour to walk, right? So we can, we can time it out that way. Duncan, I think, would just ghillie suit himself anyways. Like he's going Schwarzenegger and Predator to get some of the local stuff. And then along the way, he'd kind of have like 2 conversations he'd want to have in the first half hour before we're in the combat zone.
So let's assume that's where we are. Rather than
so I think
the salamander's like, ah, and you're like, hold up. No, princess.
Yeah. Eta, I'm curious as to what's your empire's relationship with the fortress of Sprangbrekh?
It is very friendly and businesslike. We have a very strong relationship. It's why do you ask?
I was just curious in regards to how our behavior could affect the relationships, and to be completely honest, where your loyalties lie, because they seem to have a complicated relationship with the living suit of armor that I have as a member of our band brought to Down Under, where they see it as perhaps a gift, perhaps a holy symbol, perhaps something that was blasphemous for us to have taken. And I don't intend to leave it with them.
And
that could be an ongoing source of conflict. And unfortunately for you, you walked us in to the fortress of Sprangbrekh, which means our actions will reflect on you. So I'm trying to see how you'd feel about that.
Well, I do believe that I made my position clear, that I had only been traveling with you for a few hours, that I don't know you very well. I do not foresee a problem for myself and the Empire of Numbers should difficulties arise.
Excellent. As long as you feel that way, I just wanted to be sure that was fine.
I also will do nothing to jeopardize the relationship between.
Yes, I don't expect you to, like, I don't know, pull a gun on anyone or anything, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I assume you mean that metaphorically.
Well, I said I don't expect you to, which I meant quite literally. I don't expect you to.
I do not have a gun, so that would be improbable.
Perfect. Well, I mean, perfect. We're just going to take that. That works. Great.
But you don't want to read out your loadout to her so she knows who she's dealing with?
Let me tell you the range of my gun. It's approximately... No, that's not what I'm fucking doing here.
I took it from the Eberron book.
Yeah. I debated. So my class is a swashbuckler, which I found on the D&D wiki. I got approval from the DM. No, that's not the conversation we're going to have.
That is interesting because I am also a homebrew.
No, and I think Duncan at that point will just kind of like let the walk go for a little bit so it doesn't seem like he's going from one conversation directly to another where people are not meant to hear each other.
We can assume that we're drifting in and out of scene here. Yep.
Yeah, and then I think he'd approach Makka and be like, Makka, our relationship is simultaneously simple and complex in that you are notoriously bad at keeping secrets, and we are on diplomatic missions requiring secrets almost constantly. This was eased when we had the princess who made the actual decisions, who we simply counseled. But now if I make a decision, I worry that I bring you along with me where you may not be willing.
What decisions are you considering, Duncan?
Well, there are a number of things going on right now. The princess is either lost in a way that we can bring her back, or is lost. And the differences between those outcomes have been weighing on me. As you said, I had to accept it. I can't accept either fate yet until it's been decided, but I'm trapped between them. The first, if she comes back, it means I have achieved a height of success that I could not have dreamed of. I've saved the Shadowlands. You know, the Lord of Blades, Justice herself, has witnessed me carry out a great moment of heroism, all done in the cause of the right and in the cause of the good thing, and all carried out by not protecting the crown, by protecting the code. I sent the princess up to the walls and she did her duty there, and I fought assassins down below. I had planned, before she had disappeared, I'd realized that I just needed to be freed from that element of the fourth oath. Because from what I've seen of justice, the oath to the crown is the mistake. The oath to justice is the truth. And if I could be freed, then the Dawnbreakers could be freed, and we could be a force for justice that no longer had the political demands of bodyguarding rulers who may or may not be ready to do the right thing. God, that was a beautiful future. But if she's gone, then I failed in that fourth oath. I did not protect the crown. I cannot be freed from my oath to the crown. I will have had a moment of brilliance followed by a moment of tremendous failure. And I can't let the dwarves keep the armor of Amalakin Solaris. And they clearly intend to.
Perhaps that is open to discussion or bartering.
Well, they've called it a holy relic and told us that being with it was blasphemy. And generally speaking, I found when it comes to religious relics, people are unlikely to be willing to negotiate. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. So I'm trying to think of those outcomes in advance.
I think bringing back the head of this beast will earn you much goodwill with the dwarven people. I would also seek to further investigate this graying that takes place, for I suspect it is not wholly natural.
Yes, I'm not saying let's go back and fight them for the suit. I think you're right. I have a great interest in speaking to this Richard the Grey about what's going on, because from what we've seen, stagnation doesn't do nations or people well over time. And sometimes change and outside theories end up being depressingly accurate.
If you are bound to serve the crown, and we are not able to bring Gwendolyn back, will you go to her brother?
I am bound to defend the crown, But if his brother has committed treason, then he is not of the crown. I would be bound to discover if the king lives.
The ways of your people do confuse me somewhat.
As someone who lives those ways, they're not convenient or simple, I agree.
Perhaps it is best to set these thoughts aside for now, as we have important matters to focus on.
Yes, I just wanted you to know that these are the things that are haunting me as we take these steps. I can ignore them for the sake of combat, but these are the times where we can talk, where we're not surrounded by dwarves who have other interests, or Ita, who may very well move against us to defend her relationship and the Numbered Empire's relationship with the dwarves. You're the only person I can confide in, and you're notoriously bad at keeping secrets. My life is not simple, as we've agreed.
Yes, quite complicated. I will speak of this to no one.
I would appreciate that. Okay, now, awkward segue question. Do you think there's a chance that this salamander's just like lost and can talk or something? Like, can you communicate with the beast?
Jossie has gifted me with the ability to speak with animals and beasts. Salamanders are more primordial of an older ilk than woodland creatures and such. I do not know if I would be able to communicate with it.
All right, well, let's find out then. That's an interesting question. Thank you for your counsel, wise friend Tortle. It means a great deal. And he'll like rest a hand on his shoulder and then go back to trudging in the moment where he can be fucked up because there's no immediate threat.
Things sure have gotten complicated since you worked for the Poop Smith. It's a simpler time.
Oh, I long for the old Poopsmith days.
Remember when we just helped him murder his family?
Classic.
The simple times.
Simple times. Makka, can you please roll me a nature check?
Yeah. This will be my first roll of the session. How many episodes in?
Shit. Sorry, bud.
Oh, that's fine. Natural 1.
Coming out swinging, baby.
Yeah.
So, Makka, your thoughts are somewhat filled with contemplating the gray. You've already seen the cycle disrupted in several different ways, whether that's the heat of the forge, the weird sort of Shadowland space. And I think discovering yet another one of these is not the
Vexing,
best.
we'll say.
But also weirdly now you've got a bit of a frame of reference. It's not it's been proven time and time again now that there are variations on cycles that you haven't encountered. But I think what's starting to become more apparent is with all of these variations and all of these sort of outliers, whatever is affecting the cluster in your swamp could be related to any of these, could be related to none, but it's a much more complicated. I think you're kind of someone who set out assuming everyone spoke English, and then you realize that the world speaks a hell of a lot more, kind of more beautiful, complicated languages, and it's like, okay. So I think as we kind of continue to think about where Makka's head is at with this, that's going to be in the same way Duncan is being troubled by like thoughts of who do I serve. I think to some extent you're also being troubled by thoughts of how does this piece fit?
Yeah.
Which is why, unfortunately, you fail to notice the sort of chill wind that passes over you, and the large tracks that seem to envelop your feet as you step through them. And it's unfortunately also why you aren't able to alert the party to the 4 gleaming red eyes watching you go past. I'm going to say it's going to take a free attack, but I need to know who it's going to hit. So there are 3 of you. I'm going to roll a D3 and see who's in the unfortunate position to be hit. Ita, I'm sorry, my friend. It is you. The salamander leaps from the mound of dirt that it had burrowed into, and it is going to rake you twice with its claws, and then, or sorry, I think it's going to be one. Twice with its claws, and then it's going to try and bite past you. What is your AC?
Ooh, 13.
Unfortunately, it will have advantage because this is a sneak attack.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter when you roll a 5 and a 3. So first one's no go. So you said 13?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm rolling trash. Second one does manage to hit. And then it is going to attempt to bite, but let's see how that slash goes first. So, Laura, that is 9 points of damage, I'm afraid, because I did roll high that time. And then it's going to attempt to bite you. You're a mathematical person, so you could probably tell me the mathematical improbability of all the dice I just rolled. It manages to miss with advantage on the bite.
Nice.
So out of nowhere, just like in a blast of cold and dirt, this creature leaps forward, and this thing is fucking massive. Like in I guess Greek mythology terms, this is like a centaur-sized, like big fucking beast. Leaps out and just like claws you across the back. Luckily, as your body goes limp, you manage to avoid the other attacks because it wasn't expecting no resistance. It's been fighting armored dwarves for the last little while. So with that, it lands. Looking back, again, you see 4 glowing red eyes, big muscular neck, sharp teeth. The entire body is made of muscle. Like this thing is fucking hardy. And it kind of like stomps down with 2 of its 6 legs and slaps its tail against the ground. And you can see frost beginning to form around its mouth in a cold, terrifying grin. Go ahead and roll initiative, please.
Ooh, 19.
So 1 again.
Oh,
12.
God, Tyler.
12 for Duncan, 1 for Makka. Great. Okay, Ita, you're up first. Creature clawed you across the back. You stumble away from it, turn and see it. What do you do?
Okay, I would like to start with a bonus action.
Bold choice. Let's see it.
Okay. So I'm going to use my adroit analysis.
That classic D&D spell. First level wizard.
Yeah, the classic D&D spell. So basically it's me using my like mathematical skills and stuff and knowledge of geometry to really quickly like analyze the creature's like movement patterns and fighting style. So that's just going to give me like an attack bonus and anyone else who attacks a little bonus to that as well.
That sounds very good. So,
yeah.
Laura, with this then, mechanically, or I guess narratively, if it's giving everyone else a bonus too, are you like describing this out loud?
It will literally be like it'll kind of be the quick like I see like someone making an attack and it's like slightly to the left, no, under, go up. It's like it's turning, move to the right. Like it'll be like that.
Duncan is gonna love that. It sounds like something he'll be overjoyed for.
Yeah.
This might be a good time, Laura, to mention to our dear listeners and viewers, what class are you playing?
Oh, I am playing a savant, specifically of the philosopher variety. So I'm, basically it's kind of like, she's got some magic in the sense that it's not like traditional magic. It's more like she understands like the power of certain like words and concepts and can therefore like affect beings with those.
Dope. Well, let's affect this being, shall we?
Okay. So I think with that, I'm just gonna like basically I've got my great club and I'm just like, all right, I suppose I will hit it now. and just gonna like try to basically bonk it like on the head.
Like a whack-a-mole.
If I can knock it out, it will be easier to decapitate. Except
That is sound logic.
I only rolled a 7 though. Guessing that's not going to do it.
Plus anything or just 7?
7 was the plus
Ooh,
added.
Hell no.
I know.
So it's one of those horrible moments where like you swing the club, you bash it and its head barely moves because there's just so much musculature in its neck and face that it just eats the blow.
I underestimated the strength of its musculature.
Yeah, I think everyone else is going to feel real confident about taking your combat tips. Duncan.
Cool. The moment he heard the thing come out of the bushes, Duncan was already breaking basically to the right. So what he wants to do is circle around the creature that's like on Ida. He wants to get like in its rear flank so he can essentially shoot it in the areas it's not paying attention.
So the classic military maneuver, shoot it in the ass.
Oh yeah, flank and shoot an ass. Yeah, well, one's from hunting and one's from the military. It all checks out for him. So he'll level Mr. Bang with both barrels. And then Tom, because I'm shooting in the ass, is that advantage? Because
I'll give you advantage on that.
Dope.
And Ida, what does your combat boost give Ryan?
So it's going to actually it'll increase the damage. Not the attack hit.
Oh,
Sorry.
Damn. Oh, that's even better. Actually, I like that a lot. I was wondering how this was different from Bless, and that's the answer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ryan is
So
rolling.
that is a 23 to hit and a 9 to hit.
Okay, well, one of those will hit. The other one is dirty poo-poo dum-dum dice like Laura rolled, but the big one will definitely go through.
Great. And Laura, what am I adding?
And on the D10, you may add a 1 of.
Cool.
And if you're adding multiple types of damage, you can choose which type to add.
I am not. It's just shooting. So that will
Shooting
be
damage.
10 piercing damage from Mr. Bang.
Not bad.
And then he'll draw his skull-faced rapier and be ready to throw down.
The creature, I don't know what sounds a salamander makes. Let's go with hiss. Hisses in rage and fury, and cool frostiness. Bringing us to it. So it is going to unleash its frost breath. It is going to blast Ida since she's right in front of it, and then spin around and hit Duncan. So I need both of you to please roll me a Constitution save.
This is unfortunate. Oy, 11.
I mean.
That is a 9.
All right. So unfortunately, both get just a body full of frosty breath. Luckily,
Makka, not maintaining through.
That's how I understand. Also, this is a different beast than you're used to. Makka, you are happily out of the cone, so you're fine.
I haven't noticed that we're fighting yet. I rolled a 1, so.
You are correct. Oh, man, but what's the deal with the graying?
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. All right, on 4d10, that is 30 points of damage. I rolled 2 10s, a 9, and a 1.
Cool. I would like to uncanny dodge.
I thought you might. But didn't you already use that on the hog ball?
So that's 15 for me?
Yes.
Right.
So I am now at 0 HP, but because I have relentless endurance, I can drop to 1 instead.
Oh, amazing. So this thing turns like opens its mouth, and just in the split second before it blasts you with its frosty breath, you calculate where basically the most vulnerable, you reverse, you do the reverse of what you just did for the salamander. You calculate where the most vulnerable part of your body is and immediately just get a hand up in front of your eyes and mouth. It's not a lot, but it's enough that as it blasts you back, it freezes your braided mohawk, frosts your glass. You're wearing glasses, right? I think
I don't wear them. I wouldn't wear them for combat.
Fair enough. Okay.
I do have them though. Yes.
Great.
Which I didn't describe, but you remembered. Thanks.
I'm the DM. So just like full on, like you're almost Jack at the end of Shining, but you managed to get your hand up in front of your face. It's awful. This is pain on a level you have not experienced. I imagine you've probably done like sparring and stuff, but this is probably your first real fight. Would that be fair?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my first real world fight.
Yeah, I like to imagine that with the orc accountants, there's like a lot of like sitting around, like at lunch or something, being like, "Oh yes, well, Jack got into a fight 10 years ago now, but yes, it was very unpleasant. Oh, how so? Well, you see, and like it's just like a very academic conversation of pain."
I definitely like as my hands are up, I'm just like yelling like the application is very different than the theory.
I smell an episode title. But you're still up, which is great. And Duncan will say for you, that's a flourish of the cape. It's a cape getting hit by ice, so it still like hits back into your face and like breaks against it. Like the cape doesn't shatter, but like the ice on it shatters. It's still unpleasant, but it's not face full of sadness. Makka, you're going to be at disadvantage on this round because you rolled that unfortunate.
Sure.
But you hear words about theories and applications, and as is often the way with you and your way of thinking, she just didn't give you enough information for you to properly understand the statement. So you turn to ask for clarification to see this massive, muscly beast just like full-on Godzilla breathing these your two compatriots. What do you do?
I'm going to rush over to Ita and cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level. So I don't know how my disadvantage will be conveyed, but
let's
accidentally heal the salamander.
Yeah, I guess with a healing action, it probably wouldn't be.
You want to bank it for when I try and swing on this thing?
I think I do. Yeah, we'll treat it like a hold.
Okay.
Just use every system.
Yeah,
it's fine.
A creature you touch gains number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus modifier, and then 1d6 for every spell slot level 2nd or higher. So 3d6. No, 2d6. Okay, so that's 8 plus 5, 13.
Correct.
Plus, where'd you go? Plus 7, so
20? Nice.
20
Damn,
HP
man.
back.
That's lovely.
As a bonus action, I will cast Shillelagh, and my club will become spiky.
Amazing.
And I would like to position myself right in that salamander's face, just shield up and Shillelagh ready. Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Your healing magic is you unleash spores on her. Is that correct?
Since this is from a touch, spores are involved, but yeah, it's healing energy conveyed from the touch of my hand. But yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Then all good. I was gonna do some cool melting stuff, but I think we're good. Okay, great. So Ida, you suddenly feel like remarkably better. Sometimes just speaking the problem aloud is all it takes to feel better about it. He says from swearing at math pages all through high school. That's right, math Twitter. I still hate you.
So you wonder why I chose a character proficient at mathematics.
I didn't wonder. I knew. It's fine. I stuck Karen in your body. This is really my fault more than yours. All right, cool. Top of the round. Ita, you suddenly feel like markedly better. And Makka steps in front, shield up, providing a wall between you and the frost salamander. What do you do?
I realized like, it was a little bit silly to attack with something physical when I can just use my mind. So all I do is I look at it like directly in the eye and just say very like dramatically infinity, using a confounding theorem, just where I assault the mind of it with a potent word. So it has to make an intelligence saving throw. And it doesn't even have to like understand what I'm saying. Like it has the effect
I'm with
regardless.
you, man. This makes perfect sense.
And I'm just like, to me, that is like the most like terrifying concept, like infinity, when you really start to think about it.
Trust me, I spent a good 2 years, I think, like
salamander of flop sweat.
9 and 10, just being like, but what if? But it just keeps going.
So intelligence saving throw DC 14.
Wow. Oh, Laura. So the dice did go in your favor. I rolled a 15, but I get a -2.
Yay!
So scraping by.
Okay.
Scraping by.
So that will be 8 psychic damage.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I feel about
on
it
the
too.
board now.
And I will use a bonus action to perform a drought analysis again.
Okay. You see it blink its 4 eyes out of order. Like it's not like in kind of like a vexed, like, what? Yeah, that's great. Very fun turn. Despite the fact you're well aware that it did not understand what you said, it understood what you meant.
Exactly.
Duncan, the salamander was looking at you, blowing frost, and then turned back suddenly to Makka and Ita. Man, you sure do fucking love when things look away. What do you do?
He goes low under the tail, and the idea is he wants to hamstring its back legs with his skull-faced rapier. So it's literally just like a dive, and then it's almost a leap, and he's spinning in the air like a aerial rotation, and he's just slashing across both ankles on the back legs with the length of the rapier. So
I'm pretty sure I've seen this in the Muujin tournaments a few times from like random characters who've been imported. I like it a lot. Let's do it.
Okay, the first attack is a 26, and the second one is an 18.
26 will definitely hit. 18 will also hit.
Nice.
By 1.
I'll take it. So, Laura, how much am I adding?
You can add 7 to each of those.
Nice. Oh! All right.
Oh!
So that
is indeed a drought analysis.
That is 16 damage on the first and 16 damage on the second. So it's 32 damage total.
Oh, shit, son. I mean, it's still up, but that hurts. Wow. All right. So yeah, you slash out the back 2 legs. It thumps down. I'm gonna say it pins your legs. You kind of like kick out from under it, but yeah, it's a good strike. You've definitely done a number on it. Brings us to it. Let's see if it gets that breath weapon back. Does not. All right. Well, given that you're fucking it up, it's going to try and stomp on your head twice. What's your AC right now?
AC is 16.
16. Oof. Yeah. So it'll hit with both. I'm going to roll these individually so you can do uncanny bullshit.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Years of playing with Tyler. I get it.
Yeah, sorry. Speaking of, now that I'm in its face, it is in my halo of spores. So it does have to make a constitution saving throw.
What is the DC?
15.
Oh, damn. Oh, that is very close. I rolled a 6. I get +8, but it isn't enough.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
And suck on 4 necrotic damage.
I will.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, yes. Okay, so Ryan, first bout of damage this is the one you're going to want on uncanny dodge because you rolled a 6 plus 5, so 11 points on the first one.
Nice.
Which is the max it could do.
I want to try parrying that one. So it costs me a swashing point, and then I roll a die. I ignore 12 damage.
Right. So the foot comes down, the flat of the blade comes up, and then you punch the foot away with the skull.
Great.
I rolled a 6 again. Sorry, bud. That's another 11 from the other foot.
Great. So I just take 11.
And then it gets a bite attack, which it will aim at Makka because I don't think it can get down
Spores
there.
taste poopy.
Yeah, that's true. Makka, what is your AC right now?
19.
Oh, damn. Oh, still goes through, unfortunately. So that will be wrong dice. One sec. Oh, you get off light. 7.
Okay.
as it just like chomps down on the shield, and you feel a couple of its frosty teeth pierce your skin. Cool. That's all it's got. Makka. Salamander's biting your arm, dude.
Yes. I will cast blindness on this creature.
Ooh.
Although, is it a constitution save? You just mentioned how fucking constitutional it is. Okay, yeah. Constitution save. It's got to beat a 15.
Oh, baby. I pulled a 28, so
I'm not doing that again.
He does. You blind one eye. One eye is hella blind, just toast. 4 eyes are good.
You just hear Duncan
It does not have depth perception. You can confuse it.
It can no longer do magic eyes.
You just hear Duncan from the back going, "It'd be really nice if someone else would help."
You say from under the creature?
Yeah, it's not like getting stomped on and trying
Tap
to force
dancing on
things
you?
away.
Tyler, did you have anything else you wanted to do?
I don't think I can do anything extra special with my bonus action. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've looked at this character sheet.
Oh, it's all good, man. For all of us, Tyler pointed out off air, it was July last time we played. We're currently recording in November. I was going to say October because that's the month I think it is right now. It is not. Okay, cool. And forgive me, your Halo spores, is it concentration or does it just kind of live there?
It's constant. As long as someone's in like the engaged like distance, as a reaction, I can activate it.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Top of the round, Ita. One of its eyes is blinking like it's got something caught in it, but unfortunately the other 3 are fine. It is chomping down on Makka, something fierce, but he's a hardy and hale fellow. What do you do?
I think I'm going to use disorienting theorem this time. So I basically say things that would distract and basically anything that distracts it. You
just talk Tom McGee through tax theory, and I'm like, oh.
It's kind of the way that Ita has learned to apply it is to basically speak mathematical untruths. So she just like starts to say things that are just like wrong. So she's just like, the limit of 1 over x as x approaches as 0 does not equal infinity. And it's like,
and Salamander's like, I have a doctorate. Great, love it. I also like that you've somehow accidentally turned math into like a proper like Lovecraftian mythos thing where it's just like you just start talking math at people and they just completely lose their minds and are like, the horrors of space. I love it.
Well, I feel like it works like for a lot of people in our world.
It works for me. I'm terrified. Okay, so what do I need to roll on my end?
It's intelligence saving throw, DC 14.
Yeah, see this again. This is the one to go after.
Yeah.
I got a total of 7 after my minuses. So it's hella pissed about that. Does not care for it.
So it's gonna have for the next round, it's gonna have disadvantage on all of its saving throws.
That's very good for what the party is currently throwing at it.
Yes,
So yeah, you're saying it very intently, and of course, to you, it's literally just the words and the understanding of the words. But to the salamander, there's just something in the tone and the concept, even though it doesn't understand the words. That just you can see it kind of like, you know, it's working like it's almost hinging and unhinging its jaw in thought. And just like you think you see it counting on one of its giant salamander hands for a second and then shaking its head. It is very vexed, which brings us to Duncan.
Okay.
So as the foot that stomped him comes up, he's going to roll back, like kick his legs over his head so he comes to kneeling, brace a hand against the salamander, and then just try to put the full rapier length in, like 1, 2 next to each other where you can theoretically weaken the hide.
Cool.
That is a nat 20 and a 19.
I mean, good work on both. better work on one.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I rolled the damage twice for the nat 20, right?
That is correct, sir. Laura, you can use your theory as a
you
bonus,
still
right?
get you also still get a drought analysis. I forgot it lasts for a minute. So
Oh, great. Okay.
So
It
what do
still
I
applies.
add, Laura?
You add 6.
Okay, great. So that is so for the crit, it is 16 damage for the crit, and
Oh.
9, and then
And then
13 damage for the other.
It'll be and then 2. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So
So
I'm yeah,
16,
because it's 2 hits. So I rolled twice.
a second, 3, 9. So 16 and 9 for 25 piercing damage total.
Very good.
With a little
very
bit
good.
of magic thrown there because it's a spooky +1 weapon.
This was from the Crackgate ride,
Correct.
right? Yeah, great. Good.
Yeah, because we had to find weapons that could kill magic things, and this
That's
was
right.
mine.
I want to just make sure I'm still giving you guys magic items and stuff. And since that was done by a different human who lived 1,000 years ago in 2020 time, just wanted to make sure.
Yes. No, I got it from the Shadowlands.
Yeah, I just slowly scratch out the +2 rapier I was going to give you this round. Just falls into the salamander.
That's
all
what
right.
the salamander eats.
Please, I've just been so hungry. I needed level 10-ish adventurers. Cool. So that brings us to the salamander. So fucking hungry for magic weapons. Getting stabbed in the guts and or groin. I guess when you have 6 legs, the groin's kind of everywhere down there. Okay. So I got to roll for spores.
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Bad. 3. And I have disadvantage. So nat 20 on the second one. So, I mean, it's fine. Just get that out of my
Necrotic
system.
damage.
2?
Yeah.
Right. Excellent. Okay. So I think same deal. Double stomp to Duncan and then bite to Makka. Nope. And nope. Sorry, Ryan, what's your AC?
AC is 16, 1/6.
It will hit with 1, barely. And that would be 7 points of damage. So
Great. I would like to parry it, and I don't even have to roll because it's automatically more than 7. So
Go.
no damage for my boy.
use them swatching points. Makka, that will hit. And that is 7 points of damage as well.
Okay.
I'm rolling shit on these D8s. D10s I seem to be burning. Oh, speaking of which, let's see if he gets the breath weapon back. He does. As you continue to stab him, he starts to heave in confusion about incorrect infinity theorems, but also frost begins to form, that sickening grin again. Makka.
Yeah. How's Duncan looking? If Makka's trying to peer past the salamander to see thrashing you.
Hurt, but not out yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I will also
You've seen him bloodier than this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
And Tyler, just for visuals, because Ryan has been describing kind of rolling back towards the front. Sorry, that's a very confusing sentence, but back towards the front of the salamander.
Mm-hmm.
He's within poking distance if you needed to poke him for a heal.
I think I'll.
Weirdly, for our own conception of where Duncan is at any given point, given that we have 3 sets of legs, he is in the middle set right now because he just cut out the back 2 on the tail end, so he's kind of directly under it, whereas you're up by the face. If that makes sense.
I'm going to cast Conjure Animals. I'm going to summon 2 giant vultures. we need numbers.
Look, I'll never not be a kid in a candy store when you use this spell. Okay. And also in my head, they're just the Donkey Kong Country ones. So they're really well animated, but also badly proportioned.
They are large, yeah.
All right. Dem crooked vultures come in. What do the vultures do?
Let me just double check.
The vulture stats.
Well, I've got vulture stats up, but I think they might have to roll their own initiative. Yeah, I have to roll initiative for them.
Amazing.
I get 12 initiative.
12? All right.
So they're here, but they don't act yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Great. Makka, what does this look like narratively as you summon these vultures?
I think as Duncan temporarily holds the salamander's attention while it's attacking him before it comes in for that nasty bite attack, all of the mushrooms and toadstools and fungi just kind of like on Makka's shoulders and on his back just kind of shudder ever so gently, and spores shake up and they're kind of lifted up by like an updraft or the wind, and they kind of net together and form these birds.
So they're like the leech monsters from Resident Evil 0. Just like
sort of a little bit more glowy than that, a little bit more.
Okay, all right, so more ethereal and
yeah, a little more magical
slimy
girl
and gross
than than slimy creature. One thing I don't think we've settled on like unique looks or anything like that, but one thing I was thinking about is I think anytime I summon a creature or turn into a creature myself, I think the symbol of Jossie is somewhere on their hide or their fur or their feathers. So it's just that always that ever-present crescent moon with the points facing downward.
I like that. So let's say maybe for the vultures on the wings, almost like
that'd be cool.
Yeah, butterfly style patterns. So
that's cool.
Top and bottom, love it.
Yeah, so they're just circling like as vultures do above the salamander right now.
I did that same thing earlier this week too. I love the idea of like, I'm going to use a metaphor for this. No, the metaphor is actually related to it's vulture circling. That's the metaphor I wanted. That is what they're doing. Love it. That's rad as hell. Okay, so we got vultures in the sky. Top of the round, Ida. So the salamander is still like attacking Duncan, who's under it. Makka is still guarding you. You've just watched these sort of like mystical creatures form in front of your eyes. That's strange. Not something you expected on the menu today, but it's been a day full of surprises. What do you do?
I think the more I can confuse it, I think the better.
I mean, we have established where the -2 lives.
Yeah. So I think I will disorient it again. And I will just say, energy is equal to mass times the speed of light cubed. And then, and
it's a good thing Albert Orkstein worked so hard at some of these theories that you're throwing out. I also like to imagine this is you just like peeking up over like Makka's shoulders.
Yeah.
Like it's just like peeking around constantly yelling these dumb things.
100%.
Okay, so I got to roll intelligence.
Yeah.
And what's the DC?
14.
I rolled a 15.
No!
The salamander knows this is bullshit and will not truck it.
It was too well known. I shouldn't have tried that one.
Yeah, you see like the salamander, like all of its eyes narrow for a second, and then it just kind of shakes its head.
You got to do the statement that like kills AI. Like this statement is false. That'll get them. That always gets them. Just breaks every computer.
You're walking through a desert.
Is gonna.
There's like, a turtle on the ground. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so unfortunately, not the desired result. Duncan.
So Duncan has stabbed it. It tried to stomp him with the left leg. The right leg came in and he like glove bladed between the toes and shoved the leg back. So he's gonna, while it's resettling, roll out and then leap into a spinning, almost like Superman punch stab into the middle of the torso. So he's gonna aim for the heart. So I'm going to say descriptively it's one attack, but he's putting all his wood behind one arrow. So we'll see how deep it pierces the flesh and if he can pierce past the rib cage. So it'll still involve 2 rolls.
Great. I really, really like the idea of the 2 attacks actually being a single attack with kind of a dual purpose. That makes a lot more sense than like, I go for the heart and I do it again.
Yeah. Boop, boop. The first one,
number-wise, it's 2 attacks, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
23 followed by 21.
Yeah, man.
So.
And add 1 to the first and 2 to the second.
So that's 11 from the first one and 13 from the second for a total of 24 damage.
Damn, man. Also, you're hitting that 24 pretty regularly.
It's fortunate.
Just love Kiefer Sutherland. All right. So you stab in, you feel it pierce a heart. And if this thing only had one heart, that would be super effective. Unfortunately, it is still up. It is bloody though. For real.
Then I think if we want to picture it, it's all the way in, and then he just plants his legs against it and yanks it out with like a backflip. So he's still in range, but he's weapons in hand.
Great. Vultures.
Excellent.
Vultures. Sure.
I summon forth the Vulture Brothers. Let's go.
Yay.
So, they got some cool stuff. Okay, so they
They're
have
both trained rogues.
They have multi-attack. Giant vultures have multi-attack.
Yeah.
The vulture makes 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its talons. It also has pack tactics. The vulture has advantage on attack roll against a creature if at least one of the vulture's allies is within 5 feet of the creature.
Yeah, bud.
Okay, so advantage.
Damn.
Just little winged quinnies.
That's 11. Okay, so we'll take the 16 plus 4 for the beak attack as a 20 to hit.
Yep.
And then the talons get advantage. 14 plus 4 to hit, 18 to hit.
Yes, barely, but yes.
Okay. 2d4 plus 2. So that's 4 damage from the beak. And then talons are d6, 2d6, 4. So 8 plus 2. So that's 10 damage from the talons. And I'm sorry, I need to get better at this, but that was only one vulture attacking.
Yeah, man. No, I'm with you.
Next one, 13. So 13 plus 4 to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
He matches it, so you're good.
Okay. 15 plus 4 to hit. So I'll roll.
These vultures are the best of us.
It is going to uncanny dodge.
So,
One day I'll get an uncanny dodge. Not from the salamander.
full numbers on that one. So plus 2 for each one.
Wait,
that's 18 damage.
And Laura would.
No, I only get to use it twice
Gotcha.
per round. I get 2 reactions per round, and it's technically a reaction to another.
Reactions. Damn.
Yeah, I know,
This second vulture really puts in good work and does 18 damage.
Bananas. Just bananas. All right, it's still up, but it's in rough shape.
So they're just circling and like just dive bombing it, basically, coming into like harry it and then flying up again.
Bring us to the salamander, who is now just only worried about these fucking vultures.
Okay. It has to take a con save throw again.
You're correct, sir.
For a 15.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so that's 4 necrotic damage.
I'll double it for you because I rolled a 1.
Aw.
I feel like I deserve to pay the way I make you all pay. So it as the spores are like, invading the wounds and like rather than like sealing them up, just like forcing them slightly wider open, it's heaving and it just with full of rage. I can't hit the vultures. I think they're too high. So it's going to frost breath Makka and Ita. Ita, I'm going to give you advantage on this save because of the giant turtle man in front of you.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a con save.
Con save?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are my saves? 13 Constitution save for Makka.
Fortunately, that will not do.
19.
19 is good. So, Laura, you're going to take half.
Okay.
It's not as bad as last time. It's still not great. It's 20. So 10 to you, Laura. 20 to Makka.
Okay.
But at the end of this blast of frost, you can see it's like choking kind of in the back of its throat. Like there's like blood turning into icicles off its tongue at the end of the blast. Just sort of a greenish blood that's frozen. Bring us to Makka. It is looking tremendously fucked up.
Yeah. I think then I will I'll try to attack it with my shillelagh since I'm right in front of it and it looks like it's in bad shape. I'm in bad shape too. But yeah, I'll take a swipe at it with my shillelagh.
Sounds good.
Do you want disadvantage on this, the hold?
Yeah, sorry, bud.
14 and 12. So 12 plus 7.
That'll do, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Which is good because I would have felt real bad.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a d8 and I rolled 8 on it. So plus 4, 12 damage, and it's considered magic.
Let me know how you kill it. It had 9 HP remaining.
Oh, then I think with its like coughing and heaving, and I just finished like a big frost breath. I think it sort of just roars defiantly, or I think it's like a throaty rattle from this large reptile, and I think Makka, making sort of a similar kind of war cry, just brings the shillelagh up and down, and because it's been magically improved, I think just spikes just kind of thunk into the top of its head. And it just kind of like tenses, and then the muscles relax as the life.
Yeah, all 4 eyes roll up into the back of its head.
Yeah,
in the battle of reptile versus reptile, one came out on top.
Yeah.
So as it goes down, Duncan, you just like rush in and jam the blade in again a couple more times for safety. But sure enough, the creature has stopped moving.
And I wrench my spiked club out of its skull and take a knee.
Yep. Fair enough. We're out of combat order, so do what you got to do.
All right. Well, we did that.
It was surprisingly difficult, no?
It's sort of kind of what I'd anticipated. You really don't want to let the monsters get the jump on you. That was bad form on our part. Holy balls. All right. So we got to take the head. Ita, you seem to be knowledgeable of perhaps the sales market, and I've read a little bit. Is there any part of this creature that has any value outside of the political meaning?
Not that you would know.
I have not studied these creatures. No.
All right.
I have heard. I do not use it, but I've heard that bile is generally something that is good for something.
I mean, if you guys are willing to spend the time, you could just drag the body back with you and see what they'd give you for it.
I am I count as being one size larger when it comes to like pushing, dragging, or lifting.
You know what? Let's just bring in the whole damn thing then. That's fine. This thing, this is my paranoid brain speaking, so feel free to overrule me. What do we think the odds are that this thing laid eggs or something? Like, do we need to go find a nest?
Can
it burst out of a dirt pile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we investigate that to see if that's a nest or something?
Sure, yeah.
do we look at his sexual organs? This is very bizarre.
A quick investigation of the dirt pile suggests that it fairly recently burrowed in here. I think after a bit of searching, if you all want to roll me an investigation check, you can see if you can find its nest.
4.
10.
15.
15. Yeah. So
this actually works out with our character's level of knowledge and intelligence.
Yeah. You find the nest. You find some remnants of the patrols that were sent out. There's some armor that's been looks like it's been digested and passed through, as it were. So kind of not anything you would want now. The good news is there is no sign of any kind of brood. There's no food save related. It feels almost more like a dragon horde, like it's just stuff it's collected from things it's killed. So no, you're in good shape.
This is unfortunate. I desired eggs for lunch.
That makes more sense. I was wondering if you desired more of those, and that did not make sense. So how long would you estimate the difference would be between bringing a head versus dragging a salamander in terms of timing?
Honestly, I'm not going to penalize you for it. It'll
Right,
take
then we'll bring-
longer, but it's not impossible. It's just a pain in the ass.
Help to throw its arms over my shoulders.
I've got a pair
I
of
will
vultures
walk.
that are keen to help us as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, how do you summon all these amazing creatures? Because I feel like this is a thing that is incredibly impressive, Makka, and you're very nonchalant about it.
They are manifestations of the fairy folk. if you like. They are not real blood and sinew creatures. They are gifts to me from Jasi, here for only a finite amount of time.
That makes sense. I was going to ask how I do it, but I feel like you sort of labeled that out with the Jasi thing, and I'm already sworn to justice.
May I ask what energy is used to conjure such creatures?
Life energy.
So life is taken from somewhere and put into these.
Yes, precisely, yes.
So may I ask what has died in order to let these creatures live?
Look around you. Everything is dying and being born and growing all at once.
Indeed it is.
Diversion of this energy temporarily.
That is incredible.
And Duncan just drops a salamander arm on Ita because he's not participating in
And
this
as the conversation about Jossie and the cluster continues, the three of you drag your trophy back to Sprangbrekh and hopefully back to some answers.
This episode of Curse Code and Crowd Sound was mixed and edited by Laura Hamstra, and the campaign was created by Tom McGee. Our original theme music was composed by Landon Knoblock, and Curse Code and Crown's logo was created by the brilliant Decapitated Markers. If you want to follow our players or our DM on Twitter, you can reach out to Laura at EL Hamstring, Ryan at the Ryan LaPlante, Tyler at Tyler_Hewitt, Tom McGee at McGeeTD, or you can message our whole company at DumDumDice. So please join us again for more Curse, Code, and Crown!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Taryn Hefner, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.